Hi everyone. How's it going? Good to see y'all here with me. Well, I don't see anybody, but good to imagine there's millions of people watching. Yeah, hi. What am I doing today? So today I got a bunch of things. Look at the enthusiasm, Troy. You don't even know, Troy, how enthusiastic I am. Alpha Cerebral, everyone's here. I got some big stuff I want to share with everybody.
Oh great, it's Troy Chaplin.
Oh. And come on. Oh, Alpha's not going to get his? It'll probably come in the middle of a sentence. Anyway, well, first things first, check it out.
Oh great,
my God.
it's Ilpus Original.
There we go. And then let's see. Does Bill work? Oh, Bill's not working again.
Kevin! I am madly in love
There
with
we
you.
go. Bill's back.
I am
Bill's
madly
back.
in
I
love
fixed
with
him
you.
up. Now he's going to keep saying it over and over because I pressed the button 4 times. Okay, couple of things I want to get in. So today we're talking about the interactivity API, which is something I love. And I have not had much of an opportunity to get into the router part of it. Some pretty cool stuff that you can do with it. But I haven't really played with it that much. So this might say deep dive because it's going to be just me figuring some stuff out. But I have an idea that I want to try today. Cool. Hey, Kev. Hey.
Oh great, it's Kev XB.
There he is, Kev XB. Kev XB. I mentioned you in one of my tweets recently, and I realized I probably shouldn't have. Just about like wanting to talk people to come meet me at WordCamp US and talk about how awesome you are. I realized that might have overstepped a little bit. So, anyways, I just want to tell you, deal with it. That's what I want to tell you. But, anyways. So a couple of things. One thing that I'm super excited about is that we just, when I say we, I mean myself and Brian Cords, who is works at Automatic. He's a WooCommerce DevRel, awesome dude. We were working on something for Create Block together, and basically, if you use Create Block, the package to scaffold things out, drunk tweeting. Yes, I was wasted. I'm drunk right now, actually. My eye, something wrong with my eye. So anyways, if you use variants a lot, and different types of variants, you probably notice that it's a real pain in the butt dealing with all of the different files that each variant, because originally your template can only have a single set of files, a set of files for your plugins and a set of files for your block. Well, we just added some functionality to it last week, that now you can define files on a per variant basis, which means that you don't have to do any more of those really awkward nesting things. Let me show you. Yes, sort of. It's kind of like that. There's a discussion that Troy is talking about, which I am going to get right now. And there is an overall discussion, this thing that we were chatting about, and I love this idea. I love the idea of taking this. Hey, how's it going? I love the idea of turning the Create Block package into something that's a bit more generic in the sense of like it can build whatever you want it to build.
It's Philip.
Philip's here. So yeah, so this is a discussion that we've sort of had. So the first part of it is we want to be able to deal with variants, like complicated variants. Let me, is it this one? No, of course it's second. Oh, I know how to get it. One sec. I'll show you in a sec. BDC testing, we're going to open the VS Code, and I'm going to show you something. So some of my variants, what? Ryan, what are you doing? What's that? I knew I shouldn't have drank all that whiskey. Just kidding. That was a through line to Kevin's reference. I'm a comedian. So if you look at our templates, for example, in the BDC template that I have set up. So this is This is a template that I use to generate plugins that will then turn into recipes. And so there's a bunch of variations. I have a static one. I have a dynamic variant. I have a static variant. I have a plugin variant. I have an interactive variant, and all these sort of things. And so in my templates, they can get pretty nested. Like for example, let's look at the block one. Let's look at view. So look at this. So the nesting here is nut bar, because what happens is I have to check to see, is this not the plugin variant? If it's not the plugin variant, cool. Then it's going to render everything inside of this. And now this is going to say, is this the interactive variant? Okay, it is. So then we're going to render all the stuff in there. If this is not the interactive variant, we're just going to render this. So you can see how this gets, like this is super simple code, but it can get really, like look, there's 3 nested things in there. Let's look at the edit maybe. Like you can see how it gets super, save maybe. It can get super complicated. Like the more you, oh yeah, so this is another good one. Like if it's a plugin variant, put this out. If it's not the plugin variant, do other things. So it gets really ugly, right? And so what this new change means is that in your, sorry, where am I here? In your, we're gonna close everything. I'm gonna start again. I'm gonna go in here. In your variants, this is zoomed in way too far. What you can do now is you can actually say in this variant, I want to redefine, I want to basically do this. I'm gonna say, these are the files, whatever, interactive, right? So now I can pass files, or paths to files with each variant. So it means life is so much easier now for complicated stuff. One other thing that it does, and this is all documented in the under the variant section here, which I will drop in there. Recab, oh sorry about saying that right. Rishab is saying hi from YouTube. Hi, back to you, my friend. So now what you can do is you can, as I said before, you can define variables, but you can also pass null to any one of the 3. So there's 3 variables that you can define in a template that defines the plugin files, the block files, and the assets. So like if you have fonts or images or something that you just want scaffolded. So if you pass null to any of those, it will skip scaffolding them altogether. So that means that like if you wanted to create a theme, if you wanted to have a template that scaffolded a block, like a block plugin, just a standard WordPress plugin, and even a theme, you could do it with these variants because they all have different files. So it's super powerful. I'm going to be updating all of my variants to all of my templates to kind of do this. It makes life a lot easier. So anyways, if you're doing a lot with Create Block, this is a big win for us. The next thing that I really want to do is I want to suppress, I want to add a flag or a feature, probably at a template level, to handle this part. So whenever you scaffold anything with Create Block, it automatically generates a block.json file for you, even if you don't need it. So what I'd like to do is have an option in the template that's like suppress block.json or whatever it is, right? Because then that would clean that up entirely. And those would be pretty cool things. Anyway, so the idea, I love this idea, is taking this and just basically making the template define what this is building. So it's no longer just building blocks, it's building themes, it's building whatever, admin pages. You can make it build whatever you want. Because really under the hood, the Create Block package, it's just scaffolds files. That's all it does. You give it a set of files and it'll scaffold them in some places. So if we can leverage that to make it more flexible, then we've got like a create theme. We've got like a create, I don't know, multi-site, whatever you need to use files for, you can do it. That's the idea. So I don't know if you can tell, but I'm super excited. Rishab, we're talking about the changes to the Create Block package that just got pushed up, specifically around variants. So if you're familiar with that. The other thing I wanted to share is I finally got my end-to-end tests working for Advanced Query Loop. I am so excited about this. There's a story. This is going to be a short, so I'm going to talk right to the camera for a second. But I have been fighting with this thing since I was for about 3 weeks now. and I couldn't get it working. It works locally. It works beautifully locally. It leverages Playground. So I'm using Playground CLI to spin up my site. I'm running a Playwright on it. It's testing beautiful. And then as soon as I get it into a GitHub action, it fails miserably. And it failed miserably for weeks, to the point where I'm like literally pinging Adam Zielinski, the mastermind behind Playground, to say, this doesn't work. What's going on? What's going on? And he's been super helpful and super like accommodating. He's like one of the smartest dudes I've ever met in my life. And so I discovered last night that it was failing because I wasn't building the plugin. It was nothing to do with Playground, nothing to do with GitHub Actions. It was failing because my plugin wasn't being built. And I share this if only to say that everyone screws up. Stick with it. It's good times. Anyhow, that's my story. So, but I'm super excited about this part because I wanted to show some things on here. So let's just ignore that. One thing that I really wanted to do was use Playground, the CLI for Playground, to be able to spin up like the WordPress site that I'm going to use for end-to-end testing. So I wrote a little class, a JavaScript class that generates this Playground instance that handles basically there's an init method that creates the Playground, and then there's a cleanup method that closes it, right? Then the next thing I did was I created a fixture. So in Playwright, you can create these things called fixtures, what allows you to like override the test and the test and whatever the other one is and expect. So what I'm doing here is I wanted to do two things with this. And Anatoly, sorry, I'm not saying it right. Hello from LinkedIn. What I wanted to do here is I wanted to have Playwright use Playground. So I wanted to make it really easy in my test and not have to write all of this code every single time. Morning, Paul. The other thing I wanted to do is I wanted to use the Playwright utilities. So there's an entire utilities package that WordPress provides that gives you the access to editor, page utils, admin, and things like that. So what it allows you to do is do very simple, let me show you something. Very simple things like this. So this is part of the utils package. It's a very easy way of just saying visit admin page, and then you pass the where you want to go. That's super easy. Set preferences to the editor. Insert a block. In my utils, where's my utils? You know what? Maybe I should show this in the code rather than in the thing. Let me see. Let me get my advanced square loop, tests, end to end. So if I look in my utils, I've got this. So there's editor insert block. So this editor is really handy because what it's actually doing behind the scenes is just doing this whole selector thing to get inside the iframe that is the editor and all that junk. And this just abstracts it all away. So I wanted to be able to access all of that in my tests and have Playground work for me. So that's where this fixture comes in. I'm basically creating a Playground instance for the test, so I can get access to it. This thing, I think I was just testing that, so we're going to just ignore that for now. And then what I'm doing is basically adding all the four things that it... all the four things that the utilities provide. I've imported them from the utils, right? Editor, admin, page utils, and creating an editor, admin, page utils in there. So there's three things. And then I'm adding another fixture, I guess, for some selectors that I'm building as I need them. K, I don't have a video talking about these tests specifically. This will be up there, but what I can show you what this all kind of turns into. So my config's pretty straightforward, but basically my tests look like this. So if I look at the basic tests, I'm just going to close all these other ones. So these are my super basic tests. Before each test, I'm initting a Playground instance. After each test, I'm cleaning it up. So I create it, then it gets destroyed, then I create the next one, then it gets destroyed. So this is what I wanted, because otherwise it would have to be all of this code and then all of that code, and it's super annoying. So this makes it super clean, right? And then I'm using the, so this stuff is all provided by the utils. So I can go to the admin page, I can set the editor preferences. So what this does is this, when you load the page for the first time, it pops up the modal. So this just gets rid of that. Then I have this insert AQL helper, and all it's doing is it's using the editor utility to insert my block. And then again, this is when you insert the block for the first time, you get the option to pick like start blank or choose a template. So that's what this is doing. This is telling you to start blank and telling you to pick the title and date. And then this is a recent thing. Over on the right hand side of the query loop now, you have there's a toggle between custom and default, which wasn't there before. So I add that. So this is just basically preparing it for everything. And then I do the work. So in here, I'm getting the blocks, and then I just making sure that this is inserted. So it's a super simple test. But this code, a lot of work went into this code to make it nice and concise like this, because this is how I want to do it. Because anyone who wants to extend this block or contribute to it shouldn't have to fight through all of these tests so bad. And so, yeah, so I'm doing something similar on the pagination. I'm moving all of the admin page stuff because I'm doing the same thing on every test. I'm going to the admin page, setting the preferences. I'm inserting the block, and then I'm checking to see, is the pagination there? Like, is it visible? And and then I expect it to not be checked, and then all of that stuff. So yeah, it's so now I can just get working on this. So I'm hoping to merge this today, but man, was it ever difficult. One really cool thing that you can do now is there's a test. Well, it's not that you could always do it, but I can run my tests with the UI. So this, of course, type run before I type that. And this has been super helpful. So now all of my look, can I zoom this in? I can zoom that. So now I can run like all of my tests in isolation, and I can see what's happening. And I can go in here, and it steps through. You see everything. Did you build the plugin? Which plugin? Advanced Query Loop? Yeah, I did build the plugin. So this is super handy, super duper handy. So this I love this because for me I find end-to-end testing very hard because it's there's no visual. So what this is doing, this is literally stepping through everything. So as we sort of scroll along here, you can see what it's doing. So this navigates to the post new, the editor pops up, then the step. Oh yeah, no, I did build the plugin. It works fine now. I had to literally run composer install and npm run build. That was the problem. I'll show you the fix. It took me 3 weeks to figure out. So this pops up, and then it does the it sets the preferences to make that thing go away. Now it's inserted the block. So you see it's got the choose and start blank. So it clicked on start blank. Now it's clicking on date and title, and now you can see that in this test it doesn't matter, but down here in the bottom, jump there. You can see that it's going to click on that, but it doesn't really necessarily matter. Maybe it has clicked on that. It has clicked on that by that point. So when you toggle it to custom, all of my controls appear in there somewhere. So nice and easy. I'll show you the fix, Gav. So in my actions, I was doing all of this. I was checking it all out. I was installing my dependencies. I was setting up Playwright. I was running end to end. I even have it like uploading artifacts and stuff. And what I wasn't doing was this. So trying to test this was really, really hard because without uploading the artifacts, I couldn't see anything. So when I started uploading these artifacts, I would get I think it's called trace. It's like it's a zip file, and inside of that it's got screenshots. So I was going through the screenshots and realizing that, oh, okay, it was inserting the query loop block, not my block. And then I had to navigate to the plugins page and ran those tests. And then I could see that the plugin was there and it was installed and activated. So that was fine. But then I realized, oh, okay, well maybe the JavaScript's not built. So I built that. It still didn't work. And then I realized that I have this little, where is it? In here. I have this little piece of code that says if the class doesn't exist or error is filed. So basically, there was no auto load being created, so it wasn't pulling this in, so nothing was working. So once I added the composer install, it worked beautifully. 3 weeks. Thank God no one's paying me for my time. I would have been fired. Been fired. Anyways, so I'm gonna start adding more to this. And if there's any playwright experts, I would love it if you go and rip apart my code right here. It's still a pull request on my repo right now because I was messing around with it a lot, and you can see I've got a few commits where I'm testing. Look, sledgehammer, ruin screenshot, change the fix syntax error, try building the plugin, try delaying the test, all that stuff. I got Copilot to go. So anyways, if anyone wants to take a look at that, tell me what I'm doing wrong. Useful? It wasn't useful at all. Copilot, I didn't use Copilot at all to get the test to work. I used Copilot to review the pull request. I didn't do any AI stuff, which is it probably would have fixed it a lot faster. But I probably would have said that this isn't working. Why isn't it working? It probably said, well, you're dumb and you didn't build your your plugin. There's a comment from Lucas on LinkedIn. Okay, well, was there something else I wanted to share? I don't think so. Cool. Yeah, I would love to hear if anybody's doing lots of stuff end-to-end testing, because I'm gonna get into it pretty heavy. My plugin's getting to be pretty. There's a lot going on now. I just did a new release. Shameless self-promotion. Just released 4.3 2 days ago, and it now has exclude posts. Props to Daryl Doyle for the PR on that. So now you used to be able to exclude the current post. Now you can do a list of posts that you would like to exclude. Use it with caution, because post not in is not a very performant query. The other thing it does is my post meta query builder is like a lot better now. It's a lot more it's a better UI, and it adds another field. I'm just gonna show you. You guys can just hang out. I've got you this. You're here now. You're here with me. I got a 2-star review yesterday in Advanced Query Loop, and I don't know plugin authors. Kevin, you're a plugin author. How do you handle reviews that are less than 5 stars? Because I tend to try to fight the person. No, I'm just kidding. This is what I built here. So we got this post meta. So now this opens, it's much better. So we can go. It says footnotes is what it was. So grab that, go in advanced mode. So now we can do the type. We have the compare. But we've also got advanced. We've also got meta type, which is a new thing. I can't please everyone, but it was one of those things where it's like clearly the person doesn't know how either WordPress works or so I got a 1-star review that I may have reacted poorly to, but that's fine. So now there's a meta type field if you go into advanced, and if you add another one, you can match. You have the option of and or. So it's just a better UI. Oh no, let me get my big stupid head out of the way. So it's much closer to how the taxonomy query works. So anyways, those are the things. You guys want to see the review? Do you want to see the review, Kev? Or is that me being petty and calling this person out? Should I? Screw it. Idea. Let's see it. All right. Idea is good. Execution a little weak. All right. That's not wrong. Oh, look at this. This person has gotten back. So let you add select non-standard post types. Unfortunately, it doesn't pick up all available post types. So my response is that it does if it's done in a certain way. So this person is very much, this is great that this is from 9 hours ago. So cool. Raven jumped on the screen. What? Raven. Raven jumped on the screen. Amazing, man. Who's Rayan? Anyways, okay, so I'm gonna back off a bit. This person is obviously being cool about it. So hey, I'm fine with it if a negative review. If in my opinion, I would rather you just open a support ticket because 9 times out of 10, I think it's a support related thing, rather than leave a poor review. But to each his own, right? Oh, this part, Kev? You might be right. Yeah. Well, I was. Oh yeah. I was. That might have been a little bit snarkier. That might be a little snarkier than it needed to be. But anyways, so play with toy. Hopefully, I don't know if y'all ever see this. I appreciate you. Yeah. Well, Kevin, I'm a sassy lady. I'm sassy. I don't know if you know that about me, but I'm kind of sassy. Anyways, so if you're watching this play with toy, cool. Thank you for taking a look. That'd be great. Yeah. Anyways, so cool. All right. Enough of this shenaniganery. I love Kevin. You called me sassy. You're sassy.
Kevin.
Yeah, that's right. It's for you. Who's going to WordCamp US this year? Elpis, you're going, right? Because if you're going, I want y'all to meet me right here. Okay, go right here. You're going too, bad dude? No, this is gonna be great. Okay. You want to see the other bad review? Okay, you guys are gonna laugh at this one. Okay, hold on. Let's see. So I got a 3-star review. The 1-star review is interesting. Come on, what's going on here? Let's go 1 star. Black's promised features. Oh, nice. You'll be in my workshop. Okay, so I just threw a Calendly link into the chat. If you're going to be at WordCamp US, grab some time on that thing. I do it for every conference, but it'd be great if we just schedule out like half an hour. We can go grab a coffee or whatever and just chat, hang out, grab some time that works for you on there. Okay, so this is called Lax Promise Features. I will, yeah. So here's the thing. So I'll read this, and I will try not to read it dramatically. The one thing I needed out of this was the offset option. Of all the things this plugin promises it will do, the one thing that is missing is the offset option. The offset option is part of the core query loop block as of WordPress 6.7 and is inherited by AQL. AQL also provides a fallback to use the offset control should you use an earlier version of WordPress. I'd ask you to reconsider this review. Is that how my users sound? Do you want me to make up a voice for this? This person? You yourself, by the way, I'm gonna do it like Matt Berry, maybe. New York City. I can't do that in person. You yourself, by the way of this very description you've applied to your plugin, are claiming that your plugin will provide the specified functionality. If your plugin doesn't provide such functionality, then your description is dishonest. Period. It's no different than someone offering tires and claiming that their tires make your car go 500 miles per hour. When it turns out a car equipped with said tires can achieve the promised speeds after all, it would be no defense to say, oh, well, it's really the tires inherit the speed produced by the engine. This is no different. Accordingly, my review will stand. To be clear, this feature has always existed in the query loop block, but was in the place that made it hard to find. This plugin added a new UI to make it easier to find, and then that was moved to core. At that point, it made no sense to keep the controls in AQL beyond the fallback added to ensure the controls persisted if all those changes were not in the version of WordPress being used. If you want to claim false advertising, go ahead. Just don't blame the car because you can't find the steering wheel. And I was super petty on this because I found another thread where this person couldn't find the offset thing and then was like, oh, I'm dumb. It's in the right place. So I'm very proud of that review. Oh, hey, next tab, rated. 21 viewers. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for the raid. Awesome. Welcome. How was your stream? Welcome. I do this. I wave at people. Hey there. Hey. Welcome. Thanks for raiding. Appreciate you. Big time.
Oh, you made a wise choice, my friend.
Let me do a little shout out here. But that never seems to work. There we go. A little shout out to NextTab.de, which is why is it not working now? I don't know. I got some delays in my Firebot here, but yeah. Started on the WordPress design. Nice. Oh, okay. So my shout out's didn't work. Don't know why it didn't work, but that's weird. Anyways, you should go and follow NextTab.de. He streamed in German predominantly, I think, right? And English, but anyways, lots of good WordPress stuff over there. So thanks for the follow. Sorry for the raid. I really appreciate that. Cool. Anyways, we were just reading bad reviews of my plugin and doing that. That's awesome. That's very cool. I wish I could. I wish I was bilingual enough to. I'm not bilingual at all. I wish I was bilingual, full stop, to be able to stream like that. That's so cool. We're just reading bad reviews of my plugin and discussing them. So let's see. I have another review that was. Here it is. 3 stars. So this isn't too bad. I don't know if this... would you consider this a bad review? I don't think. Nice plugin that sadly avoids the more difficult stuff like many others. Exclusive and for multiple categories. Going to take a look at the source and try to fix that. Or perhaps, please... What is this? Thanks for the need. Yeah, I think this person just wanted something... I don't understand really what they're saying. But exclusive and for multiple categories? Go ahead and take a look at the source and try to fix that out in the future. Cool. All right. Well, I never got a pull request for this, but we'll see. Okay, so what we are actually supposed to be doing today is looking at the interactivity-router API. So let's look at that. So first thing is, if you log in, you can flag the mods and check that people can't use reviews for that. Oh, well, maybe I'll do that, Kev. I'm not going to log in right now because you guys are going to steal my credentials. Cool. So I am going to use WordPress Studio to set this up. I've been using Studio a lot lately. It's been getting better and better and better all the time. So I'm just going to create a new site for this and call it the API router. If I can ever spell it right with the proper capitalization. One cool thing about this is you can use custom domains and HTTPS. So I'm going to just spin that up. I don't really know what they want in that request. It sounds like, where is that thing? Here it is. A nice plugin that sadly avoids the more difficult stuff like many others. Exclusive and for multiple categories. Going to take a look. Oh, I see what they're saying. So they want, I think what they're saying is like, I want everything from category, I want this tag from category A and this exclusive. No, that's inclusive. Not from category. One person more than one category. I'm not really sure what they're describing there, because exclusive and multiple categories. So that's the thing. The terminology that people use is always different, right? Yeah, exclusive and probably would have been translated in my head when on Professor told us about statements. See, so like exclusive and is is not exclusive. So what I think this person is asking for, and I think you might be right, next tab. What I think this person is asking for is category A. So taxonomy A has tag 1. So they want to have this, that, and they want to have taxonomy 2, tag 2, posts that have both of those. Right? I think that's what we're talking about. I think that's it. Per definition should be inclusive. Well, that's the thing. I mean, like, if you pick tag from tax 1, tag from tax 2, tag from tax 3, my assumption would be that you would get all posts that are tagged with all 3. That's what I think this is, but I don't really know. And I think there is some of that you can do. I think there's some of that you can do already. The taxonomy query is actually, like, there's a lot in there. And I think this predates the taxonomy query that I did, right? Yeah, exactly. So that's the other thing. Like, we're not going to combine queries here. Like, I think, let me check this. So if you don't have live preview on your plugins, you should absolutely go get that done. It's done with WordPress Playground, and it's so handy. So I don't know what sort of taxonomies I have in here, but if you go into the taxonomy builder, which I released that after that, far after, right? Oh, what? Your plugin doesn't work with Playground? Why wouldn't it work with Playground? So categories. Query. Tags. I don't even know if I have any tags. I don't think I have any tags in my. Maybe not some tag. So this should be what's advanced. No, so in, not in, exists and. This should. I think that this does what this person wants to do. I think because you can go into advanced mode. So the operator is. So this will give you the or. This allows you to combine the filters or use them discretely. So I think this probably does what, you know what? Oh, simply doesn't work. Oh, it's a cross-word. Okay. You know what? Reach out to me afterwards because there's been a lot of stuff that Playground can do that it has changed a lot. There's a network feature that you can add, that you can enable. I think it's enabled by default now, so and that allows you to reach out to the internet. But I'm not sure. No, it's not a proxy. Okay. Oh, going to the airport. All right. Well, thanks again, next tab, for the raid and hanging out with us. I'll be sure to return the favor next time. I see you on when I'm wrapping up. Cool. Yeah. Cheers. Yeah. Let me ask around about that because you can't be the only plugin that does API requests that wants to use Playground. I'm sure there's a way of doing it, but we have to figure it out. Cool. Anyhow. Leave site. Okay, so what was I doing here? So studio. Okay, so now now that I've created my site, which is super easy. What I love about this is I can just open this in my own whatever I want to use. So for example, I can set my preferences. Like I have VS Code and Cursor installed, but if you have PHP Storm, WebStorm, I don't know if you can read that or not, but you can pick what that is, and you can even set your terminal app, which is really great. So now I can just go click VS Code, and it'll just pop this open in VS Code for me, which I love, just not at the right zoom level. Now I have the whole site. Get this out of here. Don't want that. Now I've got this all ready to roll. So yeah, and I can open it up in iTerm2 or whatever it is, right? So anyhow, which is really cool. And then there's this really cool thing is preview sites. So you can actually like when I'm done doing what I'm doing today, I can press this button and it'll generate a temporary site for me that I can share the link and people can go and play around with it. So it's pretty cool. All right, let's close some of this stuff. Okay, so in here. Sorry, what am I doing? What the heck am I doing? I'm gonna go into the admin, and I'm pretty sure I have to have. Okay, let's look at this interactivity router. So there's some pretty cool stuff that you can do with this. Like there are some blocks that already kind of use this stuff. Like for example, the query loop block that has the enhanced pagination. It leverages this to do all of that. Okay, so let's read through here. So the package WordPress Interactivity Router enables loading content from other pages without a full page reload. Currently, the only supported region mode is region-based, which is cool. Full client-side navigation is still experimental. Now, there is an experiment in Gutenberg for coming to plugins. Let's look at these. Delete those. Delete. Apply. Zoom. I'm gonna add a plugin here. And Gutenberg. Should be able to install this. And we'll activate it. Okay, so if we go into Gutenberg, and I think you go under experiments, there's a lot of experiments. Experimental blocks, add form, grid interactivity, where is it? Client, no. Oh, there we go. Interactivity API, full page, client side nav. So we'll just turn that on. And I think now, if we go to the site, and I click on things, yeah, no, wait, do I even have pages? Sample page. Yeah, that was super fast. So now we're doing client side now. It's not actually reloading at all. The thing I need to do, I need to go to my permalinks, set up the old, whatever, permalink. There we go. I think that still works. So let's go on to it. All right, so do this. So sample page. Did that reload? I don't think that reloaded. Let's turn it off and see what happens. Thing is, it's like local, right? So, so it's hard to really know. It's actually reloading. Let's just save this back in here. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I definitely reloaded. Okay, cool. So that's fun. But some of the region-based stuff is actually really cool. So let's see. Package intended to be imported dynamically via Vue.js files of an Interactive box. This is done in order to reduce the bundle size on the initial page load. Okay, that makes sense. So now you can call actions.navigate in your block Vue.js to navigate to a different page. Pass it to. Okay. When loaded, this package has the following state and action set to the core router. Interesting. Okay, so data WP router region. Okay, so this is the part where we're going to start making some changes. Define the region as updated on navigation. It requires a unique ID as the value, and it can only be used in root interactive elements, i.e. elements with data interactive that are not nested inside other elements with data WP interactive. Okay, this value can be a string with region ID or a JSON object containing the ID and an optional attachTo property. This attachTo property sounds really interesting. Sounds very, very interesting. Okay, so this, not much going on in here. So I think we're gonna have to play with this. I think we're gonna have to play with some stuff. Do I have much content in here? All right, what do I want to do? How are we going to build this? So I don't need that on there anymore. Okay, cool. I think you might need to have Gutenberg active though, for this stuff to work. But we'll test that out in a second. Okay. So I'm going to go. How are we using navigate the action in your block? Okay. All right, let's go. I'm going to get a block going here, and then we'll turn it into interactive, and then we'll go to npx. Nope. Yeah, I'm just going to use the create block package WordPress create with 2 S's, create block. We'll call this router, and we'll go variant dynamic. All right, so we'll let that install. So we should have a plugin here. We do. Okay, so we'll have this set up. So my understanding of the way that the router stuff works, the region works, is that when the page is being loaded, so it, maybe I can go in here, WP post. Do I have a, no, I want it, WP CLI post create. Oh wait, maybe it's probably a generate. I think it was a generate function. There it is. So I'm just gonna steal one of these and generate a bunch of posts. So we're gonna do the beep beep pop. I don't care about the post state. I'm just gonna do that. WP post generate. I'm just gonna generate a buttload of posts. So you can't read that. You know I can read that. So WP PCLI is really great at doing this. I'm gonna actually just make it do whatever, 50 posts. So we should have a bunch of posts in here now. Boom, a bunch of posts. Okay, cool. That's cool. So now if we were to put a like on our template, for example, let's go into the editor. Let's do template. Actually, let's look at the home page now. Does it have? Is it showing stuff? It is. Oh, it's ugly as sin, man. Okay, so let's figure this out. So the blog. Yeah, get started. We're gonna group query loop, and we're gonna set this to something different. I want it just to be nice and simple, something like that. All right. No. Nope. What do I want? I'm just gonna add a query loop. Blank. I'm just gonna go there. That's what I want. Okay. And I'm just gonna get rid of. Yeah, get lost, man. It's fine. And then so now we've got this pagination. So the cool thing about this query loop block is that if you go into advanced, you should be able to turn on full reload, right? Reload the full page instead of just the post list. So if I turn that off, this will give me the interactivity that I'm looking for. All right. And if I come down here now, this just loads, right? Is that actually? Yeah. Okay, and that's done through that region-based stuff. Okay, so I don't need this anymore. Let me get back over here. I'm gonna set the query loop to custom. Set to like 5. Let's see. Okay, why is it taking so long? So now I should have 5. So there we go. So we just jumped through it. So what it's actually doing behind the scenes here is this area. If we inspect this now, and my understanding is that if we, oh my god, that zoomed in way too far. What am I even doing? Okay, let's do this. If I inspect this, there should be data interactive. Okay, so this is the name of the store, and so this is the router region. So right in here is the part that's being updated, right? So when these buttons are clicked, what happens is it loads the next page or whatever page we want. So like if we're on page 1, right, and then it goes to page 2, it's grabbing that stuff from that page, and then it's replacing on page 2. It basically parses the page. It grabs the router regions that match this ID, and it replaces that section on there. So, which is kind of cool. But it also works in other ways. Like, so that's how the router regions work. So like and what's really cool about that is you can actually opt in your own plugins to work with this. So Justin Tadlock and I were talking about this yesterday. He has this really cool breadcrumbs plugin. So it lists the breadcrumbs on his site, like where you are. Well, it never worked with the interactivity API because it doesn't, it wasn't aware of the changes. Well, we got it working because we defined a router region for it and a store, and then when he changed it, it updated as needed, right? Which is super handy. So so I have my block in here now. So if I go into render, cd API router. Okay, I'm just gonna npm to start, and then we're just gonna get it into this. I feel like a little scattered right now because I didn't really have a plan getting into this. I just wanted to kind of start playing around with it and see where it took us, right? So so what should this block do? Okay, well, first thing we have to do is we have to make it interactive. So we have to set interactivity to true. Right, so now that's going to be active. And then in here, we're going to need to define, I'm just going to put a div in here. I don't know what we're doing yet. So it's going to be a div for now. And I want to do data WP interactive. All right, this is going to be the name of the store that we have to pass. I'm going to call this, I'm going to call whatever. It seems like this is what people are naming stores. Like at least on the core side, it's the name of the block. So I'm just going to do that for now, right? So we have that, right? So now in our Vue.js, we don't need any of that. We should be able to pull in basically something along these lines. So I'm just going to grab this for now. We're just gonna play. So that is wrong, and I hate it. Where is prettier? The thing that drives me nuts is that I have to set this up every time. So what I like to do is I like to add a little thing in there, and then when I save that, hey, now it formats. Beautiful. Okay, cool. So my store is going to be called this. So this is like what you would set up normally for any interactivity API thing. Like you have a store, you've got actions, you usually got callbacks, right? And then we've got no, get out of here. I think the other one's what, state. So this is typically how you would set this up. So you have a state object, you have an actions object, you have a callbacks object. I go through this spiel every single time, but these three object or property names are arbitrary. Excuse me. these three property names are arbitrary, but they serve a purpose. So state is like the state of the application. This is where you would put your getters and your functions that create some derived state. Actions are user initiated. So like in this case a click event, and callbacks are more like programmatically initiated, so like an onload or like a watch, that kind of stuff. So that's where that stuff goes. But this is all pretty straightforward. So what this is using is this with sync event, which is a function because it requires it's a synchronous event. So you have to use this with sync event. There's a whole thing that you should read about that. Is it in here anywhere? WordPress Interactivity. Let's see if I can find it here. The interactivity, there should be. Is it? Examples. The references. Why is this hard to find the references? There we go. So with sync events, right? It's right here. Actions that require synchronous event access to the event need to use the with sync event function. Otherwise, you don't need to use that. So anything that's like this stuff. So like, all that. this stuff here, because it has to do. I think it has to do with like not hijacking the main thread. I think the main JavaScript thread for performance reasons. I think there's a bit of that. Yeah. So anyway. Okay, cool. So what are we building with this stupid thing? So right now, this is going to do a go-to page, and it's going to ask us to go to a page. So let's do that. So let's put a button in here. Button. No, not button. An A tag. href. Right. And the href is going to be, let's just, over here. Let's make this post. Oh, it's not tab. Oh, so stupid. Okay, so let's query loop. We're gonna go post to title. We'll make it a link. Boom. Save. We'll do that, and then I'll refresh this, and it's gonna be a link, and it's gonna be. Let's just make it go to post 46. Who knows what this is gonna do? I don't know. So that's gonna be post 46. So we're gonna set data.wp.onClick on dash click, I think. We go actions dot go whatever this is called, go to page, right? So that should do that. Click. I don't know what this is gonna do. We're gonna see in a second. All right, so on click actions, go to page, right? Nope. Okay. So then I need to insert this somewhere. Let's insert it. Let's add. What do I call this thing? I don't even know what I call the block. Or EAPI. I want to search for router here. So here I should be able to put router. Oh, you know why it's not working? Quick, speed round. Why isn't it working? Why isn't it working? Why isn't it working? Throne of Era, great question. The idea behind this is that the router is supposed to swap content without page refresh.
Oh great,
but
it's Throne of Era.
It doesn't. It does it using the. So right now, I don't know what this is going to do. My guess is that this is going to. Where am I? My guess is that this is going to just load the page. But what we want to do, well, chat it anyways. What we want to do is we want to define a region. Yeah, API router, that's what I want. Okay, so that, I'm going to put this up here, top right here. Okay, so this is just going to be that. So we're going to save this. I don't care about the front end of this thing. All right. So I've got so many stupid. What's this? That needs to go. That needs to go. That needs to go. That needs to go. This. Okay. So if we click this, oh, that's fine. If I click this, where does it go? Okay, so it takes me to that page. Cool. So, so let's see what it does. Okay, so it's gonna. Okay, so in here, I want to have. So what I want to do is I'm going to define a region now. Data WP, what is it called? Interactivity. So we need to define a region in our thing. So this is going to be a data WP router region. And I'm just going to call this main list. So the ID is this. I'm going to call this, I don't know, whatever, content, right? And then I'm going to do this. I don't know what this is going to do. So we're going to go echo. Wait, global net. Here, I'm just gonna, there's probably a better way of doing this. Actually, now that I think about it, global post. Right, and then here I'm just going to go echo post content. Post content. this gonna work? Is this gonna work? Is this gonna work? I don't know if it's gonna work. All right, so let's see what happens when I go here. I'm gonna go back now. Click me. So there's no. Okay, I'm gonna go. You know what? It's going to work. Yeah, I love your enthusiasm. So if I click, you know what? I know what I'm gonna do. Sorry, I'm gonna put this in a different place. I'm just doing some weird setup right now. I'm just gonna go to all my templates. I'm gonna go to my single templates. I'm gonna go to single. Where's the stupid single? There's the stupid single. And then in here, I'm gonna put that block that I just made. So we're gonna go router. That's not how you spell router. We're gonna insert the router block. I'm gonna move it up here. Sure. Hit save. So now if I go in here, oh, okay, so click me. So I need to put some content in some of these posts. So I have this handy dandy little thing that does that for me. So I'm gonna put some content. I'm gonna call this one post 51. I'm gonna talk just like that the rest of this stream. And hit save, and then what was the where am I going with that? Was it post 46? Takes me to post 46. All right, so I'm gonna edit post 46. I'm gonna put some content in post 46. Post 46. That's not 46. All right, save. 51. Let's view this. Get out of here. There we go. Okay, so that's the post content. So if I click this, it's going to navigate me to post 46. Okay. That seems wrong. Log. Oops. Navigating to. Oh, come on, right? What are you doing here? We'll do that. So let's see. Is this not working? What I thought was going to happen was that. Let me just clear this out. So if I click this. Okay, so that's not working. Oh. I'll tell you why it's not working. I'll tell you why right now. Experimental the modules. That's why. I can't remember what the flag is. I'm gonna have to look it up. I think that's it. Okay, so let's restart that build process. I think it's not working because the experimental modules flag was not part of it. So this should be now building as a module, which this block should be click. What? Right? Package JSON in here should have experimental modules. Did I spell it wrong? Is that a no? Huh. Okay. Okay. That doesn't seem right. It should be building as a module. Is it not? block.json is going to be view.js. Okay, so in build, I've got block.json, view.js. Yeah, that seems fine. Does that look right though? I don't think this is anything that I'm necessarily doing wrong here. So let's look sources. Page content. No, it's not loading. It's not loading that. There's got to be something stupid I'm missing. What am I missing? I'm missing something. The block has been interactivity is true. Okay, that seems right. Use script. Oh, that's what it was. Use script module. Yeah, I bet that's what it is. Okay, refresh. So the module I think is loaded in a different way. Let's clear this. Click. There we go. So what's it doing? Okay, let's go back here now to post 51. Can I get the 50? There we go. All right. So what I hope is going to happen is when I click this content, I think, is going to get replaced by the content that's in post 46. Are you ready? Should we do it? Oh, let me just do a hard refresh. Let me click. It worked. Huh. That's very cool. Okay. Okay, so it's navigating to post 51, post... Oh, that's not right. How'd that work? It seemed to work, but it's not working. But, well, it is working. What are we doing here? Oh. Let's try it again. All right, let's try again. We're going to go back to post 40. I'm going to go to post 51. Okay. So this is the 51 content down here. I'm on post 51. If I click this, oh, that's amazing. Okay, so all right, there we go. So what's cool about this is that you can do this for, yeah, okay, so what this has done is this we're still on the URL of post 46. Oh, we're on the URL of post 46, but we're showing 51 content. That doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem, oh my God, something doesn't seem right about that. So navigate. Okay, let's look. Okay, so that worked, but are we worried that the URL doesn't match? Maybe in this case it doesn't really matter because you know, in my use case, I think this maybe doesn't really matter. Like we would probably remove that. Let's, you know, because like what I think would be really cool. And this is something that I've been sort of experimenting with, the idea of, oh my God, I'm pressing all the wrong buttons today. I've been sort of experimenting with the idea of doing this, of having a different interface for like my block developer cookbook site where you have stuff that's more like this. Obviously it would be better. Like step 1, right? So like a block that would handle all of this stuff. I'm sure I could probably do this a lot faster with AI, but I fear our robot overlords. So yeah, so like if I were to do this, so you would click on like step 2, right? Oh, there's no content in those. Step 3, step 4. I gotta put some content in there. I have no content in these posts. Okay. I should have generated these with some content. Quick edits. So I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna put some. Sure. All right, we should have that. So now if I brush this, right? Oh, so this is post. Then stuff. Post 41 won't have anything. Busy work. Busy work. Post 41. Post 42. Post 43. So I'm just gonna in here and copy. Come here. Copy. So what I was sort of getting at was this could be a really cool little interface where you could have like different steps that you could walk through, right? So if I'm on a 41, like I'm here, it switches to this, it switches to this, it switches to this, it switches to that. Yeah. So like, for example, on this Block Developer Cookbook, which I'm absolutely obsessed about my Block Developer Cookbook right now. Like if you look at a recipe and some of the longer ones, like the interactive gallery slider, like they get a little heavy, right? So if each one of these sections was sort of a step, then we could like load each one individually and have a big interface here, and you would just go next step, previous step, something like that. So I think that's where this is feeling like it's a pretty powerful thing, right? The other thing that I really like the idea of is some kind of modal. So specifically, they're talking about this attachTo property. Oh, you know what I want to check first? Sorry, I just totally lost my own train of thought. But plugins. I want to see, does this work if I deactivate Gutenberg? I guess we'll see. So 43, and then step 2. Okay, so the region-based stuff works just fine. Where I see this working good is the URL won't matter in a carousel and each entry is a post. Exactly, yeah. So like you're on a home page. The thing is though, it does update the URL, right? Because it still has to load. So like this is taking me to post 40. So if I click on this, even though this says post 43, up here it says post 40. So we might have to look at that a little bit different. Like it's similar to here. Like if I click next page, what this is doing is it's appending that at the end, I guess, which is interesting. So it's probably sort of how we have to build that out a little bit. Like, I wonder if I do that a different way. Like if I were to go. I wonder if I just. That's not going to work because. How is that working? It must be pulling, it must be retrieving, it must be getting, this is sitting on the home page, because it's prepending, or not prepending, inspect, let me look. So what it's doing is it's query 40 page 9. And then there must be something that is building that out. What happens if I do something like this? What's the post ID for 40? Okay, 45. This is post 41. So I'm just gonna do. Oops. Do like PID, and I just refresh this, what happens? So this should be taking me to PID 41. Strange. Oh. Oops. This doesn't make makes sense. Sorry. I got to go post 51. Okay, let's try that. So I click on this, and what does this do? That just loads the page that's loaded. All right. Yeah. Okay. So I just wonder how this works. Like, I wonder if you could just do something like ID equals get PID. I don't know if this is gonna work. Post is get post ID. Clearly, I need to like clean this up a little bit and stuff, but I don't know what this is gonna do. So, oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that didn't do what I wanted it to do at all. Okay, well, so I have to figure that out a little bit, how the URLs and everything all work into this. But stupid spam messages. Okay, so this is pulling all that in. This should pull in the stuff from it. Kevin, you're the best, Kevin. Yeah. I don't know why it's not working, but I'm gonna ask about it. I do know that there is some. I don't know if maybe controversy is the right word, because it does mess with URLs, which could potentially affect SEO. I think, but I really like this where you just tell it, like, it's just straight up loading the content in there. And what's really cool with this, the other thing that I want to show you is that it doesn't, you can have other blocks. It's not just for one region. So let's do something different. Let's grab another block. And I'm just going to copy this. Okay, sorry. Well, what am I doing here? So this, I'm going to put this in here. It's going to be like cancel. Get out of here. Where's that? What I want to do, I'm going to do another block, another thing here, and it's going to be called AI router other. Okay, and this isn't going to have anything in here. I don't even need a store for this actually. And here I'm going to call this router region is going to be title. Right, and we're going to go echo post title. Okay, I'm not going to do any of this. This was something that I thought was very, very, very cool. Random name. And it's, okay, so what I'm doing, the idea is that you can take your existing blocks or your code and you can have it all of a sudden work with the interactivity API. I need to global that post object, don't I? Yes, I do. Yes, I do, Ryan. Right, so this is called other. We're going to call this other. Other, I don't know what else I'm going to break here. We'll see. Other. Okay, so in here I should have, be able to include that. My block manifest should have what it needs. Okay, I'm just going to rerun that. This block manifest thing is really great if you're having multiple blocks, because what it does is it caches all the block JSON stuff, so you don't have to like load it every single time. All right, so I'm going to get into the post here. I'm going to edit the post here. Right, so this is the API router. Oh, wait, you know what? The other thing I need to do is to give it some way of knowing which one it is. Other. I'm going to spell it wrong. I don't think people are really that worried about my spelling anymore. They're used to it, is what I'm getting at. Wrote other. Boom, boom. So the other, where'd that go? Where'd that go? It's stupid. Okay, so up here, I'm going to put the outer just above where it says block. So this is going to output the page title, right? So in my other, in here, I'm going to go like this. I'm going to say page title, right? And so what should happen here is because this exists on all the pages, it will, and there's no interactivity here. I'm going to just turn this right off. I do need to keep that enabled. I don't need the Vue.js. I think I might be doing some overkill examples here. So I think what's going to happen, and let's test this. I think what's going to happen is we're going to go to whatever post. Let's look at this post. Did I not save the title? Boo. Get that. Block home. I have far too many things going on. Stand by. I'm going to go here. I don't think I saved it. I'm going to edit site. I'm on the single post. And what I need to do is insert the router. The router. There we go. That's going to go way down to the bottom somewhere. I want to put it up at the top of the group. What page am I on? Single post? I'm going to put it right here. Okay. Let's look at that. Okay, so that's the post title. So I think what'll happen now is this will change. So if I hit step 3, you see how that changed to the post title? 41, it should be 40, it should be step 43. So what's happening here is, even though there's absolutely no store associated, like this store does not exist at all. It's just, but because I'm defining a router region here, any router regions on the page so when I click step 1, behind the scenes it's saying load the page, get all the router regions, and then take those individual islands of whatever and insert them into the router regions that match that ID on this page. So this is how we got, like Justin Tadlock has the breadcrumb plugin. I was telling you that earlier. So his breadcrumb plugin is like not enabled with the interactivity API at all. It's a PHP thing, whatever. All we had to do was add these two things to its wrapper, and then it just all of a sudden worked, which is so cool. Now the thing you have to keep in mind is if you don't define this, it won't work anymore. So if I refresh this now, I'm on page 40, I click that, you can see that oh my God, I lied. I lied to you. That wasn't right. Is it building? Hold on. That shouldn't work, but it did work. It's even better. Interesting. Okay. In our test, that didn't seem to work. I feel like that shouldn't work. I feel like that shouldn't work. Maybe in Gutenberg it does. Okay. So when we were testing that didn't work. So, but it does now, which is really cool. So, which means that if, you know what? Let me just double check my render in here. No, that's right. So that's even better, because I didn't like the idea of having to define a store that doesn't exist just to make this work. But it seems to be working just fine, which is super slick. I'll have to let Justin know that. If I click that, yeah. So that's really cool. So this is a great way of like working with this. Does this all make sense? Is anyone confused by any of this? I mean, I live my life and generally confused, but as shown by whatever. I don't know what I'm saying. Gotta stop drinking. Yeah, cool. Okay, so the next thing that I wanted to look at in the last little bit is there's this thing called attachTo, and I haven't played around with it yet. But I have an idea that this could be a really great way to do modals and such. Right, so how does this work? So the attachTo property is a CSS selector that points to the parent element where the new router region should be rendered. This is useful for reasons that may not exist in the initial page but are present on subsequent pages, like a modal or an overlay. when navigating Cabaro Studio, thank you from YouTube. If a region exists on both the current and the new page, its content is updated. attachTo is ignored in this case. If a region without attachTo exists on the new page, but not on the current one, it is not added to the DOM. Okay, if a region with attachTo exists on the new page, but not on the current one, it's created and appended to the parent element specified in attachTo. Okay, I'm going to build another little block. I'm going to build another little blocky block here. Gonna copy, no, not there. Definitely not there. Build another little block. This is going to be attachTo. And I'm going to need to make some changes in here. Okay. So in here, okay, so how does this work? Okay, I'm just gonna take this. Okay, so this is gonna be my output right there. Okay, this is gonna be called, I'm just gonna use the attachTo, make it whatever it needs to be. Right, and then I guess this ID. Oh, I see. Okay, so remember how we had to have a unique ID? Well, that's what this is. And so this is the body. Okay, cool. So if I build this now, I should have 3 blocks. Now, okay, so if a region if a region with attachTo exists on the new page but not on the current one, it is created and appended to the parent element specified in attachTo. If the region exists on the current page but not on the new one, it is removed. attachTo is ignored in this case. Okay, so how are we going to test that? So I'm going to work on this page. So let's just say I go to post 41 and I'm going to go to post 41, for example, and I'm going to edit this post and I'm going to insert what do I call it? attachTo. So I'm just going to put that in there. So this is the attachTo block. You're going to hit save. So this is post 41. So if I come over here and I go to post 40, right? So there shouldn't be anything on this. I don't know what this can do. I click on post 41. Does that work? Let me just check here. Console. Elements. I don't think it worked. Let's make this a little bit more okay. The other thing I want to check is, do I need to have Gutenberg active for that? So let's look. All right, so here's post 41. Let's look at post 41 to make sure it's actually there. So I'm a new region, so that's in there somewhere. Okay. So I'll click on this, refresh this page. If I click on this, should take me to 41. Okay. Why isn't that working? So that should be attaching to the body, but it doesn't seem to be. Let's look at the render. Okay, I'm just gonna make this super simple. So that's going to be that. And we're going to make, yeah, okay. So attachTo body, right? Okay, so if I refresh this page, expect that. Oh, sorry, we should say back to attach to body. Okay, cool. You know what? Let me I'm gonna ping somebody here in a second. Oh, come on. See if I can get someone from the team to jump on here with me.
Oh, you made a wise choice, my friend.
Hey, thanks for the follow, Boss Gans. Great name. All right, I just pinged somebody to see if they want to jump on stream. So I don't know why this isn't working. This is definitely a confused Ryan moment, because what should happen here is that doesn't exist on this particular thing. So when I imagine when I click this, it's supposed to be appending to the body. So, oh my god. Oh my god. I'm going to just call off the dogs here. Pepcac error. Okay, so it was working. It was just not appending to the place where I was expecting it to append. So let's append it to an appropriate place. Let's append it to, where should we append this to? Body, no. Boot, header, main. I don't know. Where should we chunk this in? I'm gonna append it to. Nope. Let's go WP Sitebox. Is it a class that you put in there? Maybe it's a class. Let's look. Okay, so let's see. It's a CSS selector, so we can put a class in there. So let's look at our code. Look at our code, and here we're going to append it to dot WP site blocks. So we'll see what this does. And I realized that I am an idiot and I didn't do it right. So let's see. Okay, so post 40, so 41, boom. Interesting. Interesting. Oh, it's right there. There it is. Okay. Oh wait, no. Okay, I gotta go to 40. Right, it shouldn't be there. It's not there. Let's see. Step 41, and it still gets appended to the in here, which is interesting. So let's see. Okay, so in the router, build, we're going to go to attachTo, render in here, it should be site blocks. Is that actually still appending to site blocks? Like what if I wanted to append it right at the bottom of this? So what is this? Let's go entry content. No. Yeah, we'll do it right at the bottom of that. That's where we're going to append it. Or is that where we're going to append it? Is that really where we're going to append it? Entry content. Is there only one of these? Oh, I think I used two. What's in here? Okay, we're gonna do. No. I'm gonna append it to a header. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put it in the header dot temp. What is this thing called? Header dot class template part. Sure, let's try that. So this is me just not. Oh, I think this works. All right, so that's the attached here. So let's try it again. Let's try it again. This is really cool. This is really cool. You can definitely see how this becomes like super powerful. Not 40, post 40. Post 40. That's what I am. I'm post 40. Step 2. Where'd that go? Where'd it go? There it is. Boom, boom. Okay, cool. So you can inject this like anywhere, and you can turn this into a modal and stuff. Maybe use it to start. No, we just get clean. Maybe. I don't think so. Because all we're doing is just outputting some stuff in here. We're not output buffering. It's already rendered on the page, so the page that it's calling gets rendered. So this is a question from YouTube. Maybe you need to use ob start and ob get clean. That's what you could definitely use that to output the contents of this, but I don't need to in this case because I'm just using the region. I'm just outputting whatever's in here. So okay, so I think that this is a really cool new thing. Let me also go in here and turn off Gutenberg, and we'll test to see if Gutenberg needs that. So if it needs Gutenberg, I'm gonna keep calling it Gutenberg forever. And okay, it looks like it might need that. Let's go back, fresh, turn on Gutenberg again, refresh, click on this is and then post. There we go. Okay, so we do. It's a great suggestion though. You know, you won't be able to say it correctly for quite a while. Yeah, Gutenberg. I know. Awesome. Okay. So I'm gonna try to make a recipe for the Block Developer Cookbook about like creating like I don't know, cookies modal or something that is initiated this way. I think that'd be really cool to be able to do that. Like privacy policy. Actually, you know what? That'd be really neat. Is if you were to like have a link that was your privacy policy, and when you clicked on it, it just injected this, and then you could dismiss it from any page. I think that'd be very cool. I have to figure out the best way to do that though, because we also don't want to mess with the URL too much. But yeah, anyways, cool. Well, this has been fun. This has been a lot of fun. Got rated, got people hanging out with me today. So if you're new to the stream, every Thursday at 10:30 Eastern, I stream. It's WordPress stuff. Sometimes we just sit here and gush about Kevin. Mostly we just gush about Kevin, but you know, sometimes we actually get some coding done. So yeah, so if you want to come hang out, I'm also on the YouTubes. Right here is my YouTube, so go there because why not? Yeah. Anyways, but I think I'm gonna call it today because I pretty much accomplished everything that I wanted to do. If you're going to WordCamp US, I dropped a link for my Calendly thing. Please sign up. Just hang it. It's nothing formal. We don't even have to talk about work. We can just hang out. I just want to meet some of y'all in person, so that'd be great. If you want to come to Canada, we're having a WordCamp Canada in October. Troy is the man, and Paul I think will be there, and I'll be there. And we're gonna have a great time. So come to Canada in the warm October months. Yeah, but anyways. Oh, the LUP. We'll get you there. Europe, maybe. No way. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, do it. Yeah, bad dude. Yeah, you gotta come. You gotta come to WordCamp Canada. Tickets are on sale, I think. Right? Where exactly? It's in Ottawa. Here, let me get the link. Where is this? There we go. There you go. Troy's already on it. See, get there. It's in Ottawa. Beautiful city, lovely city. Lived there for 4 years. Loved it there. Troy is going to be there. If you haven't met Troy, you have to. He's phenomenal. Yeah, tickets are available. Go buy them. Have we noticed? Is there meet our speakers? Let's see. We got some cool speakers, like very, very, very cool speakers coming. Like this guy, Dave Weiner, maybe you've heard of him. I don't know. Jeff Paul, awesome. Jonathan Desrosiers. Michelle, she's fantastic. This guy, this loser, Troy, the chief. Yeah, a lot of really great stuff coming on. So for sure, you got to come. You got to come to Canada. We got to hang out, eat poutine. If you don't know what that is, look it up. Beaver Tails, if you don't know what that is, also look it up. John used to work for me. Oh yeah? Really? That's cool. Yeah, John is a great guy. There's a lot of really great people in the WordPress space. Joe, I don't think I've met Joe, but I've been aware of him for a while. He's a pretty awesome dude. So yeah, anyways, we're going to pitch it. Tickets are still available. I think there's talk of adding some time. I'm not sure. Maybe I shouldn't say anything yet, but anyhow, I'm going to let you all go. But thanks so much for hanging out with me today and putting up with my stupid user errors. Oh, before I go, 1 second. I want to show you guys this really cool feature. So I have Studio set up. I have set up my site. I'm going to create a preview site. Now I'm logged in on my WordPress.com account, right? And what it's going to do is it's creating a site for me. Control weds. What? Control weds. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I think you're saying contributor day. Is that are we talking about contributor day right now? Paul, you're the best. Waiting for my preview site to spin up. So I love this because you can do this and send it to a client. Like, you know, if you're working on something, you can cut a branch in your repository, do your changes, create a preview site, and it'll create from that branch, and then now you can so check this out. Check this little site out. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Here's the site. Go play with it. It'll be live for about 7 days. You're gonna want to go to post. I think what was it? Post 40. I think you want to go to post 40 to make it work. Actually, it'll probably work anywhere. But so we're so step 1, step 2. Look at that new region. Content's moving, right? Is that reloading? Yeah. There you go. So go check that out. Here I think it'll work from any site because I have this on there, right? So it should, yeah, there you go. See, look at that. Beautiful. Worst kept secret is contributed to WordCamp. Yeah, we're working on the final details, but it's highly likely to be on the 15th. We're playing workshop track. Yeah, you're going to get, if you come to WordCamp Canada, you are going to get like 3 days of like amazing content. Troy and the team I've been like just watching in chat and they're just, the stuff that they're trying to get done is amazing. And last year was so good. The food was probably the best food I've ever had at a WordCamp, period. So no pressure, Troy. But if it's not that good, I'm going to leave a review. A 1-star review. Yeah. Anyway, so check that out. I think, yeah. So Studio, this is great. Love this stuff. All right. I'm going to let y'all go. I keep saying that, but I am going to let you go this time. But thank you so much for hanging out with me. I am streaming next week. And then I think the next 2 weeks, and then I'm gone. I'll be at WordCamp US, but I'm gonna try to set up some streaming, I'm trying to do some kind of live stream while I'm at WordCamp US with because Jonathan Bossinger is also going to be there, so we hopefully can do some kind of live stream on the day, probably contributor day, but we'll see. All right, talk to y'all soon. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I love you all equally and without reservation, except Kevin.